Hello, welcome to the TriathlonDan YouTube channel. Welcome to a cafe in Beacall.
Yes.
That's right, isn't it?
Yep, the pudding parlour.
Pudding parlour in Beacall. So, why are we in a cafe in Beacall and who is this? So, this is Alaina Beacall. Alaina is a cyclist, a proper cyclist, not me who tries to be a cyclist. And Alaina's here today to talk to me about an event that she has done and created and is running this year and I'm doing. So, hopefully I'm going to get some tips on Thursday how the hell to get around. So I suppose first of all, what is the Pure Peak Grit?
Right, so Pure Peak Grit is approximately 600 kilometres around the Peak District National Park. The idea is that it's a continuous loop that hits every single known, infamous or top 100 climb of the UK in and around the national park non-stop.
Great, okay. And it's in June this year and entries are already out and I believe you're full, aren't you? You've got a waiting list or something as well?
Yeah, it's gone down really well, which is exciting.
So we've got roughly 50 people taking part?
No, so there's 80 people. I was going to cap at 50, but then it was like, do we keep going? When do we stop? Don't want to fluff up the first and then make it too big, but hopefully we can manage the 80 people.
Okay, so you said all that quite normally, as if that's quite a normal thing to do. To a lot of people, including me, that is completely ridiculous. So where did the idea come from? How do you put this together? Where do you think about doing this sort of ride?
Okay, so hopefully like a lot of other cyclists, I really love hills. And I moved to the Peak District and it's an incredible place and it's also very hilly. And there are so many classic hill climbs there that it's quite exciting to tick them off. Those of you who like hills have probably heard of Simon Warren's Greatest 100 Cycle Climbs as well. He's got a book where he goes around the UK and rates and characterises these climbs. So after seeking out all these amazing hills and the peaks, I did think, I wonder if there's a way to link them all together, but not do out and backs for the sake of it, because that's not really a ride, is it? But to try and get a continuous loop. And there was a time in December, I think last year, when I was actually off work sick, but that kind of sick where you can still kind of do something. So I was like, this is my time. 7 hours later, had a continuous loop of the hardest way up every categorised climb I could find in the whole national park, and it amounting to about 600k and 12 to 13,000 metres of ascent, 42 hills.
Excellent.
So
so you had the route, and then how did you come around to actually decided when you were going to do it, who was going to do it with you?
Well, had it in the back of my mind at some point it would be cool to try. A bit of a shame to just do it on my own. Through getting into long distance cycling, I've come across some incredible women, well, people in general, but also women, because they tend to be the rarer cyclist, in these events. But it's been shown that as events get longer and longer, 2 to 3 days, the difference between men and women totally equalises.
I've seen some things that actually say that women are stronger.
Better. Yeah, I mean, Lael Wilcox won Trans Am just a few years ago, outright, and then obviously in the running world, Jasmine Paris won the Spine and beat the record by 12 hours. So I thought this would be a great event to showcase that, showcase how strong women are. So I tried to get a group together that I knew, or people knowing other people. I got a group of 10 of us, set the weekend to be in July. And on top of that, I thought if we could fundraise for the Peak District to help conserve it and make development more sustainable there, that would be a win-win. So kind of a three-pronged attack at making it a thing. And the added thing was, it's not merely enough to do the route, it would be really cool to see if we could do it within 48 hours.
Obviously got a time scale to make it as hard as possible.
So that's what we did, in July last year. Yeah.
Wow, so this group of ladies that you got together, they're not just average cyclists, are they? So I've done a little bit of Googling, I've seen some of them are national time trial champions and done various other events. So in a nutshell, what calibre of cyclists were they?
Yeah, so there was a little bit of a mixture. Obviously I wanted to find some ladies that are experienced in long distance rides. Don't know if you guys have heard much about Audaxes, but they are long distance cycle events in the UK. They're a great way to get into it. They do have a time limit, but they're quite generous. So and it's more about just keeping going. So a lot of the women had done Audaxes. That was probably the basis. A couple were just starting out in Audaxing. A couple had done some of our bigger events, like the Transcontinental Race, which is one across Europe. And one of them, yes, who was the other lady to finish in 48 hours, Jasmine Muller. She was our international time trial champion a few years ago. Yeah.
I follow her on Strava and she's stuck
She's
in some
amazing.
miles.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so you got round to the weekend and you did the
Yes.
event. How did it go? How was the riding through the night? What was your strategy to get through it? Ups and downs? What was it?
Yeah, okay, so on a personal level, unfortunately I'd suffered with a knee injury. I've got a tear in my meniscus that had rendered me stranded on the coast of Ireland for 5 days, just 3 weeks before. I couldn't straighten my leg, so I didn't know if I...
Minor inconvenience.
Yeah. So I thought, I've got POP Grit coming up as well in 3 weeks. So I didn't know if I'd be able to do it or should even attempt it, but I thought that's okay because I kind of want to still promote the women and promote the route, and it'd be amazing to kind of watch it and nurture it anyway. As it so happened, I did a 200k Audax the week before and my knee managed that, so I thought, okay, I'll give it a go anyway. So we started on the Friday night. That was also something I'm changing for the next year. But
it's now Friday morning, isn't it?
Yes. So starting of a night, most of us had already done a full day of work.
I think I still need to put the Monday off work, but yes.
Please do. Please do.
Maybe the Tuesday, who knows? Oh.
Yes. So we started at the evening, and it was all very exciting. I'd only let people have the route maybe a few weeks before because I wanted it to be more of a challenge and, the surprise. But yeah, I think people struggled going through the night, especially some people that aren't used to maybe not having amenities for food, water everywhere. I tried to make the route go through every 50 miles or so, somewhere that will have food or water, like services. Yeah, and I highlighted that to the girls so that that would help. But people that aren't used to bivvying on the roadside when they're tired and stuff, not having anywhere to stay and going through the night, and you haven't planned it in advance, people struggle with. So I'm not going to lie, people were dropping like flies through that first night and into the next day, quite struggling. But as daylight comes, it's a morale booster, your melatonin boosts your energy, you do feel a lot better. And on a personal level, when I reached Ashbourne 200k in at that year, knowing that Subways now do vegan food, it was like yes, and there was a Subway there opening at 7. Excellent. It was like, oh my god, you guys are my dream. So
you've got choice this year: meatball marinara or veggie patty.
Oh my, that's new. Yep. Oh my gosh, they just had the actual patty then. But so coffee and food, and then you're up, and then also I think knowing that it was my event, that helped boost me. The hills,
bit of pressure to do it then.
Also the hills actually kind of segment it, so to help you get through these events, long slogs really make you struggle mentally, but having a hill to, you've got a classic hill every 10 miles, what more could you want, So highlighting those, you've got those to look forward to, it breaks it up a bit, you've got your goals, you've got your checkpoints, so it was good. Then I personally slept for about 3.5 hours in Glossop, but I pre-arranged an Airbnb. Jasmine also pre-booked somewhere about 400k in. By that point, most of the other girls had dropped out, purely through the lack of sleep, struggling into the next day. But after having that little bit of sleep, again, it was a really sunny day the next day, and you already know, I think breaking the back is also important, so doing a bit more distance before you have a bit of a sleep. I'm on the countdown now. And the final bit last year was going up through Strines, an area that I was telling you about, and it's just such a gorgeous area, quiet roads, velvet tarmac, and then amazingly a lot of the people that had helped with the event and helped raise money for the charity, and the charity came to the finish line in Buxton, and Jasmine and I finished in 41 and 42 hours, and 2 of the other girls did finish, but they took their time and wanted to enjoy it a bit more, and they did bivvy in a lot of places and did a bit of a cafe hop as well. They finished in 60 odd hours. It's just amazing.
So the main challenge of the event is to finish under 48 hours. Is that
that was last year, and I think I told you earlier, the sad thing for me was people not being able to do the route, because it's not just a challenge, it's also just an incredible place, and I want to share that with people. So I thought ways to make it easier would be, how about having a 72-hour target, so that's 3 200Ks. You can sleep in that time, or
sounds easy. Sounds great.
or like I'll let people carry on for as long as they want.
It's a lot more accessible, isn't it?
Yeah, headquarters will be closing at the 72 hours, so there may not be anywhere for them to lay a sleeping bag, but you can still have the tracker and you can still do the route, and also a morning start. And I've managed to book somewhere at the halfway point for 2 nights, so people can just lay down a sleeping bag, and psychologically, hopefully that'll help people as well.
Yeah. So how do people follow along this summer then? So it starts on a Friday morning, so we have trackers, is there like a tracker website? Can they do what's called dot watching, is that a thing?
yeah, so everyone will have a number and a tracker, and you'll also get your number on your cap, which will be exciting. And Legends Tracking is the website I'll be using, but everything will be linked through purepeakgrit.cc. The website, or the Instagram if you want to follow people.
Great. All right. Well, I'm certainly looking forward to it. I can't wait to give my first shot at something that is longer than a few hours. I've got the bags and things, all the gear, no idea, so I'll be picking your brains about that at some point, no doubt. But very much looking forward to it. Thanks for taking the time to share the event with us. It is currently closed, but there is a waiting list, so if you're interested, is it worthwhile? We'll put the details down, just seeing what happens as people come
definitely, yeah.
So I'll leave all the information down below. I'll also leave Alaina's links down below as well, so if you're interested in following the journey, please do. Time to get stocked up on chamois cream, and I'll see you later. Thanks very much.
Thank you.